Hondas out here. The Queen, Miss Queen Tuar, was here doing some testing in her Integra. All right, guys, with good news, we've got the live stream up and running. So to everybody that is just tuned in, guys, we do apologise. We've had a big issue with the internet. We've only just been able to get it up and running. But we've got the internet working. So we welcome everybody from around the world and around Australia tuning in here to Sydney Dragway for Aeroflow Race for Real tonight. We do apologise, guys. But we are up and running. Hi guys, just doing a little quick mop up of some water in the Aeroflow lane. As I mentioned, guys, welcome to everybody who's tuning in via Facebook and YouTube. We do apologise about the internet, guys. Unfortunately, it didn't play the ball, so we won't be able to get the internet up and running, but Ben's been working his butt off to get it happening. And luckily, we've got it up and running. And we've got a good crowd here tonight so far that's checking out the off-street drag racing. We also welcome some of our interstate racers that were due to be racing here on Saturday, but unfortunately with the Jamboree being postponed, they're able to come up and do some testing. All right, BMW up against the Nissan. The Beamer out with a 1.92 in the 60 to a 2.42 for the Z sled. And the 13.08 there for the Beamer, 14.06 for the Z as Godzilla makes its way out. The R32. Well, so Jambo has been postponed just due to the weather. Well, 10.75 there for Godzilla. 131 miles an hour. That was great pass there from the skyline. As we've got the Falcon about to take on the Subaru wagon. Tell you what, we've got a great night. If you've just joined us via the live stream, we've got a fantastic night. Not only have we got some great off-street cars here tonight, we've also got a whole heap of hot rods here tonight as well that are putting on an awesome show for the crowd. The bikes have come out in force again. It's a great night for off-street drag racing here at Sydney Dragway. If you're not here, well, I'll tell you what, guys, you're missing out Right, well, the Subi on a mission, 13.26, 103, great pass to a 12.99. You've got the P-plater down here in the VL. He's going to be taking on these Statesmen. So guys, don't forget, guys, if you're here at the track, make sure you go to the Calidi Motorsport tent and purchase your tickets for a passenger ride raffle for Good Friday, which is on the 29th. Here at Sydney Dragway, it's one of our biggest burnout comps of the year, and you can go down and see Dom at the Calidi tent. Now, cars in the raffle are Chubba, Zero Fs, Mad Dog, Too Easy, Get Wrecked, and Big Red. So make sure, if you're here at the track, make sure you do grab yourself a raffle ticket. You can't buy them online. You've got to be here at the track to buy a ticket in the raffle. And Don from Calidi Clothing Company is here tonight. So make sure you go see that. And of course, 9:30 tonight, the Calidi Motorsport group will be out on the burnout pad and doing what they do best. They'll be smoking out Sydney Dragway. I hope we've got a whole heap of burnout fans up in the crowd. I notice there's a lot of kids here tonight, which is great to see. I know they'll be pretty pumped. Sammy Jo out with a .071 red, but she's been consistently in the high 12s in her VE Commodore. And look at that, 1250 with a 515 to a 1288. Brian, her partner, coming out now in the rocket lane. And his Commodore, he's been running into the 12s as well. And he's taking on this beautiful 68 Charger with the number plates to Crow. Or the Crow out with a 1.95. The big 68 Charger doing a General Lee in a 1247, 111 to a 1345 there for Brian. And he's got the VH out now in the rocket lane. Well, as Mark Thomas, who's my co-commentator tonight, mentioned, this VH certainly looks the part, and it's got the go about it as well. 1.82 in the 60 there for the VH. And a 1278 with a 9. As we got a Mustang that is getting a little bit too eager. I had a interesting drive into work yesterday. A Mustang driver almost got cut off by a gentleman in a Hi-Ace. Sorry, not a Hi-Ace, a Hilux. And yeah, there's a little bit of shouting and finger pointing going on. To be fair, the Mustang driver probably should have laid off the horn a little bit. He was acting like a bit of a douche in my book. All right, we just got a little bit of fluid just past the start line in the Aeroflow lane, so the boys just giving a quick mop up. Well, guys, what we're going to do, we're going to get some ads happening. A few words from our sponsors. You're here at Aeroflow Race for Real with the Rocket, Mark Thomas and Big Bad Benji. We'll be back very, very soon.
turbochargers from Aeroflow Performance are designed for the automotive enthusiast who wants optimal performance at a competitive price. We have a range of turbochargers in both ceramic ball bearing and 360-degree journal bearing options to suit your power goals from 200 up to 3,000 horsepower. To help turbocharge your vehicle, Aeroflow Performance also have a large range of turbocharger accessories. From steam pipe turbo manifolds, external wastegates, and intake and exhaust solutions, you can have your car boosted in no time. For a full listing, check out aeroflowperformance.com.
Speed Addict Clothing Co. Fast clothes for fast people. Shop now at speedaddictco.com.au.
Yeah, GDR Festival coming up on the 24th and 25th of May here at Sydney Dragway. If you love your Nissan GDRs, and I mean fast GDRs, you love the history of GTRs, Nismo in general, make sure you get out for that one. It is brought to you by Motive Video, Nismo, just to name a few. Well, the Mustang looks like it's had a little bit of fluid coming out of it. It's actually for sale, so if anyone wants a Mustang that likes to drop a little bit of liquid, go down and see the owner. As we welcome Mark Thomas back up into the studio. How are you, Mark?
Yeah, good. I just went up to the merchandise, had a look. Geez, got some great stuff up there. Absolutely sensational. Yeah. So,
how much did you come back with?
Oh, mate, I nearly had to get a wheelbarrow.
I got to ask, did you get a bucket hat?
No, didn't get the bucket hat. Didn't get a limiter finger either. Yeah, but they're all up there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, we've got a pretty big crowd up here tonight, up at Kids Corner and all through Burnout Central.
I'll tell you what, there's a great crowd out there around all the Burnout cars.
Imagine.
Yeah, heaps of people out there, so really good. It's great to see.
Yes, as mentioned, guys, Dom is down at the Calidi tent. Make sure you grab yourself a raffle ticket and go into the draw to ride shotgun in a Burnout car. Now, this ute down here, number plates, I got you too. It's got a bit of metal hanging out of the bonnet.
It's got a lot of metal hanging out of that bonnet, and all that metal makes it go really fast.
But is it turbo LS or is it supercharged, mate? Oh, jeez.
Wow.
That sounds angry.
Yeah, it sure does. Yeah, it was just, straight on the pedal. Yep.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
So this would be a good pass.
I'm interested to see what it will do.
Lots of things to make a good pass. As we know, like you got to get it off the line, you got to get the power to the ground. But in that Burnout, it's got the power.
Well, like you said, Mark, you can make all the power in the world, but if you can't put it to the racetrack, you might need a set of radials on it. Oh, no.
Get off it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's what you don't do.
Yeah.
You start turning tyres, you get out of it because those walls start chasing you.
That's right, and especially when you get over near the centre line as well, because there is no grip there whatsoever.
No.
So just got to be oh so careful.
You do. You're going to get a heap of passes tonight.
Yeah.
So don't forsake your car by thinking you need to chase that one pass there.
No. Now we've got the Calais down there, which
it's not Don, is it?
Well, I was just thinking, is it Don? He's taking on this VL with the 6 in it. which has been running super good all night. 1.78 in the 60.
It just sounds so clean and crisp once it comes on boost. It just, yeah. And underneath the bonnet, it is just absolutely mint. Everything is just in the right spots, and yeah, it's got all the right gear on it.
All right, David Martisevic in the Cortina. One of our super street competitors. Of course, his brother Richard runs a Falcon Ute, which is very, very tidy. But great to see David here tonight for Aeroflow Race for Real. And the Calidi Motorsports crew have come out in force tonight. Great to see a couple of them few of them drag racing tonight. And of course, 9:30 tonight, we've got the Burnouts. We've got a whole heap of people up in the crowd. They're getting pumped, I reckon. I reckon they're going to start loosening up at about 9 o'clock.
We'll have to see which is the most rowdiest part of the crowd out there.
Well, I'll tell you what. I reckon the most rowdiest is going to be right in the middle of Burnout Central.
You reckon?
I reckon.
Yep.
Well, last week I was up there for when the GMR Skidders were up there. They had their night, and we had some rowdy people up in the crowd. But I'll tell you what, they love their Burnouts.
Yep.
And tonight, I reckon it's going to be just as crazy up there in Burnout Central. That's the way we like it, though. We love loud people. There's both cars down the Aeroflow lane, 1321 to a 1360. We've got two of the Calidi Motorsports cars going head-to-head. Robert Spagnol in the Shorty's Performance 8Z up against this VS Commodore, which is very, very tidy. And Calidi Clothing Company, tell you what, if you haven't got a ticket in that raffle, you're missing out.
100%.
If you're not in it, you won't win it.
Well, HT gets out a 1860 foot. The VS is trying to chase him down, but won't get there. 11.3, 122 miles an hour to a 13.1, 107 miles an hour.
All right, got the Lamb Speed GR Yaris. If you're watching on Facebook from wherever you are around the world, if you've not seen this car before, this is one of the quickest GR Yarises that we've got in the country. It's got a sequential gearbox in it. It's had a fair bit of work done to it. Does run into the 10s.
Yeah, definitely keep your eye on both of these cars, because this F100 has got a 6-cylinder Barrow in it, and it gets motivating. Like, it's winding up now.
Yeah, Barrow Turbo underneath that bonnet, as Mark said. And on a march, 11.56 to a 12.11 there for the GR Yaris. So a little bit off song there.
Yeah, both those cars are off pace. Which I'd probably say well off pace.
Yeah. All right, got the Mustang down here in the Aeroflow lane. He's been taking on.
I can't see. I can't see if it's a Falcon or it's a. I think it is.
Well, I think it's an AU Falcon.
Yep.
Well, if Will was here tonight, he'd tell me. Because he's like the AU fiend
Yes,
here
yeah.
at Sydney Dragway.
Yeah, he's virtually like a AU spare parts manual, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the Mustang sounds like he's off it before the finishing line. Goes to 14.22, rolls on through. All right, ladies and gentlemen, time to rock and roll. The hot rods are out now. And we've got the chop top down here in the Aeroflow lane, up against the convertible. If you missed Day of the Drags on the weekend, guys, it was a fantastic event, a nostalgic event. Stephen Bush was here in commentary, and I did watch a bit of the action.
Yeah. Now, Les Bighurst was here as
Yeah.
well. Les was at his finest. Been commentating for a long, long time, Les. Ooh.
Fair bit of smoke that's coming out of that hot rod though, Mark. In the rocket lane, the chop top runs on through with a 12.98, but a 15.68 there for the hot rod, but that was a lot of smoke.
Yeah, I only just caught it when you said something then, Stu.
You reckon it was tyre rub? Maybe just tyre rubbing? by
Possibly.
looking-
Yeah, you reckon? Okay.
Now, this little hot rod here that's in the rocket lane, I had a look at this in scrutineering. This is seriously cool. It's got a little chop top on it as well. But you look at the inside, there's not a huge amount of room in there.
No, it's not. Yeah, you see the way they set them up in there. The pedal boxes come up through the floor instead of down from the column. Yeah, because you can't put them anywhere. That's where your brake booster is, underneath the floor. You just fit stuff where you can fit it. If you can't fit it, you don't have it.
That's right. Oh. And of course, a few of the hot rods these days, you know, a lot of the people are starting to retro-tech them.
Yep.
They're starting to put the more modern engines into them.
They are indeed, yep.
But you know what? I truly believe if you've got a hot rod, you cannot beat the old school.
Yeah.
Windsors, the Clevelands, the old Chevys.
Yeah, just keep your eye on the rocket lane for this pass coming up. It's got the wheelie bars on the back. It just looks so top heavy.
It does actually, but we got Kieran Cook in the Aeroflow lane in the Ford Roadster. He's got a 434 cubed Windsor motor on board. And in beside him is Noel Inman up from Sunshine in Victoria, the Ford T centre door. He's got a 347 Windsor in the front of it. And as Mark mentioned, it's got the wheelie bars. Now, TG asked, hi guys, when is your next diesel event? We're not actually quite sure, unfortunately, TG. I will endeavour to find out for you.
Okay, everyone's in. Oh, just keeps popping those front wheels up. Must have picked them up about 3 times then.
10.43 with a 6 for Kieran Cook to a 10.96 with a 4 there for Noel.
Well, I'll tell you what, if that's Noel's motor, like a small cube Ford, that thing is cracking.
That's awesome.
Yep.
All right, a 32 Deuce down here in the Aeroflow lane. That's got to be my favourite hot rod out of the night, I reckon.
Yeah, it's a real clean looking car in it. It just looks great.
You know, I look at a car like this and I wish I had a beard like Benji's because, you know, I feed right at home, playing the ZZ Top tunes. You know, I could see DJ Prowse doing that, you know, watching this style of racing and running ZZ Top in the background.
Yep.
13.54 to a 13.111. We've got more hot rods on their way out now. Oh, that's cool. Love it. You know, in drag racing, a lot of people that I speak to, Mark, they look at the hamsters. You know,
Okay.
and the hamsters, a lot of them have got the flat motors in them.
Yep.
And, you know, to most people, they're not that exciting, but really, that's where drag racing came from. Hamsters and hot rods like this.
Yep.
It's all very much part of the history of drag racing. I'll tell you what, the roads are down there in the rocket lane, 2.10 and 60, 0.058 on the tree. But the hot rod next to him in the Aeroflow lane, he's got the win, a 12.58 with a 5, 107 to a 13.50 as Smoke and Joe Sabello is about to come out now.
So I reckon Joe's about 2 passes of putting the big slicks on, the big tyres, and the blower belt.
Absolutely.
He reckons he was looking for another 6 passes under it, so I reckon he's done 4 real easy.
Apparently I look like Kermit the Frog driving one of those cars, according to DJ Prowse. Well, DJ Prowse, it's not easy being green. But in 11.43 at 119.4. The bikes have been turning it on here tonight, here at Aeroflow Race for Real. A couple of them we've really had to keep an eye on. A bit of a heart in the mouth stuff, though, although these two have been putting on a show all night. Side by side, 10-second passes, and a 10.02 with a 5 and 144 to a 10.47. Tell you what, they are turning it up.
Yeah, they are indeed. That was sensational.
Tell you what, may not be too long. That rider that was just in the rocket lane might crack a 9.
Yep.
It's doable.
Well, he's virtually there.
He is.
Yeah.
I'd like to say g'day to Mike Sampson, who's tuning in from Knoxville, Tennessee, one of our regulars. G'day, Mike. How are you, mate? How's things over in the States? G'day, Cliff.
It's good to see everyone was just waiting around and waiting for the good old internet to come up.
Yeah, thanks everybody for your patience. I think Ben's beard just went a lighter shade of white.
Yeah, it's gone a whiter part of white.
Yeah, absolutely.
But persistence. You got it working.
That's it. That's it. You know, we couldn't do this without him. He's our production guru here at the track. Oh, I'll tell you what, that bike down in the Aeroflow lane. How did he hold on to that? That thing was sideways.
Yeah.
10.93 in the rocket lane to a 14.92. Guys, just while we've got the bikes going on, must thank Aeroflow Performance for their continued support of Aeroflow Race for Real. And if you need any parts for your car, your hot rod like we got tonight, rock and roll, it is on. Make sure you go down to Scrutineering Shed, grab yourself a copy of the Performance Parts Catalogue, and that's your encyclopedia. And Mark Thomas did have one up here. I don't know where it's gone. Did you take it home?
No, I didn't. No, I don't know where it is.
Well, I have to ask Bushy because he cleaned up in here, so I don't know where he's put it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in there. Okay. Hopefully all the pages are still marked.
Yeah. Yep. We had. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely many hours of great reading, and a lot of your hard-earned cash will buy a lot of stuff. Yeah. But you just buy it and then beg for forgiveness. Isn't that how it works?
Bald Rusty is asking, when's the next Ford versus Holden theme night? We're really not quite sure. As a matter of fact, us commentators, we're not even sure what the next theme night is.
No, yeah, you're right.
We haven't actually been told. We will have to get in touch with Darian, our marketing manager here at the track, and ask him. I'd love to have another diesel night.
Yep.
I reckon that's one of our most well-supported events. Michael Richards, 0.015 on the tree, 1.69 in the 60, on for another 9-second pass, I think, Mark.
Yep. 9.95, 138 miles an hour to a 13.3, 98 miles an hour. So that is just super consistent.
Well, DJ Prowse just said, I will take a dark purple blown 34 hot rod with a sharp dressed man, says E-Type.
Okay.
All right, guys, great news. Mark Thomas is pumped. Just to let you guys know, the Reaction Time prize contest is on, guys. We've got 103. We've met the minimum target. So to all our racers, the money is on the table.
So this is it. You've got to get your race face on, get your head in the game, because there's money on the table.
We've got about 43 minutes left, roughly. So to all our racers, tell you what, the motorbikes have been steadily improved. Actually, the reaction times from the bikes have been very up and down, which is quite funny because normally the bikes are a little bit more consistent on the tree than the cars.
Yep.
But tonight they are on their game.
They are, and even with their ETs and you know, like miles an hour, they've just been climbing. The guys are getting quicker and quicker. So yeah, it's been a great night for the bikes.
Of course, Wally Hoster, who's here tonight, we'll see Wally out very, very soon on his 1000cc Jexa. He's got one of the quicker bikes here tonight. And I'll tell you what, when he gets that strap,
Yes.
mate, she's going to be running high 8s, low 9s.
Stu. Well, the bike in the rocker lane goes through 10 to 136 miles an hour.
Oh, twang.
Stewie, you shouldn't say stuff like that.
No, I shouldn't. But, you know, when you work with Benji, you've got to have a bit of a filthy mind. Just, we have to turn the microphones off, so we've got to keep this show PG rated.
We do, yeah.
Now, guys, don't forget, if you're hungry, we've got the gas-fired pizza van up the top there as well. We've got Joe's Ice Cream. We've got the donut van up there, Denise's Donuts, the best in the West. Of course, the Top Fuel Cafe is open as well. So if you want to feed, and if you're going down there, make sure you do go down and have a look at all the Burnout cars from Calidi Motorsport. That'll be out a little bit later. Don't forget, guys, grab your raffle tickets. You can go down and see Dom from Calidi Clothing Company. Get your tickets, because you never know. You might win, and you might be able to get a seat in the Burnout car at Good Friday, which is one of our biggest Burnout events that we have here at Sydney Dragway. Of course, the biggest one comes up in June. That's Burnout 2024. It's going to be huge this year.
It's going to be massive, yeah.
It's going
always a big one, isn't it?
Oh, it's huge. It's going to be sick. I can't wait. David Pendlebury, I reckon he'll be pretty fired up this year.
Yep. Well, 11.6, 119 miles an hour for the Rocket Lane to an 11.8, 124 miles an hour for our Aeroflow lane.
Now, speaking about David Pendlebury, I had a phone call today from our marketing manager about the Calidi Motorsports crew coming out and doing burnouts, and
Yep.
apparently David Pendlebury is here tonight.
Oh, wow, yes.
So I don't know whether he's actually going to be driving a car or what he's actually doing, but I have been told that he was here tonight.
Okay.
So if there's anybody in Australia, aside from Chris Diggles, that's crazier than me on a microphone, it's definitely David Pendlebury, I'll tell you. I'd like to welcome Scott to the live feed, one of our regulars that tunes in just about every event that we have here at Sydney Dragway.
Yeah, it's good since the this has all gone up, Stu, that we've got a lot of regulars from all around the world.
Yeah, we do. And, you know, we've got people watching in from the US. We've had a person watching from South Africa.
Yep.
I had to watch what I had to say then. I was thinking I was back in St. Ives. But if you've ever been to St. Ives, you'll know what I mean.
Yes.
All right, we've got this Jesse Barnes out there now on board the Jexa. 1.86 in the 60. And Ron's on through with the 10.31 at 140. Great pass there from Jesse. All right, we've got the 86 out here with the beer holder. Or the noodle box holder, as Ben calls it. The big GT wing hanging off the back of it. That is cool.
The big iron on board.
He's up against the Honda. Fair bit of steam or smoke coming out of the back of that 86.
Yeah, a bit of steam coming on, a bit of condensation.
Yeah.
Just quite nice out there at the moment. The weather's just perfect.
Yeah, it'd be perfect for drag racing tonight, as evidenced by a lot of our races that are here this evening. You mentioned the miles per hour mark.
Yes.
And, you know, conditions out there must be perfect because the miles per hour are up there.
Yep. Yeah, when you get the right conditions, it just ETs roll and miles per hour comes up.
May still be a little bit humid out there for some turbo cars, but the NA cars seem to be very, very happy this evening. Oh, I got the BMW SUV, who's just getting a little bit of a word from our starter.
Oh, how cool's the Gemini down here? The Venetian's in the back window.
Yeah, that's cool.
Surprised it doesn't have a rotary in it.
Yeah, well,
That was the one of the main conversions in the Geminis.
actually, we had somebody on the live stream a couple of weeks ago when this Gemini was out.
Oh,
They were
okay,
saying they
yeah.
were a massive Gemini fan. I can't remember exactly who it was. All right, the little Jemmy.
Yeah, just rolling it back, staged up on the back wheels.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah. Now we're getting some class.
Now we're getting a bit of a jamboree feel. Because we've got the Gemini, which Rob Taylor is actually out the back. Or the transporter anyway, with the door slammer. Of course, from memory, I think he's got a Gemini that he has in the workshop down at home. I could be wrong. I don't know whether he's still got it or not, but he did have one at one stage. Well, the little Jemmy out with a 2.25. The BMW, I think it was next to him.
Yeah.
Is doing the chase. I think Gemini's got the win. He does. 13.03 at 112.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. We love our 2Js here at Sydney Dragway. Of course, hashtag 2J the world. If you haven't got a 2J,
Yeah.
you're not really in the game.
No.
But you know what? That's the good thing about drag racing. It means everybody can step up.
Yes.
We know the RB30s are close.
They are, yeah. But you just got that Toyota reliability.
Absolutely. And it's good to see an old school super here. Oh, get off it. Oh, dear.
Just bang it through the gears. She'll be right.
Yeah. Tell you what, I had a bit of a wiggle on it, though. That's the last car, or any car, we don't want to see them hit the wall, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, definitely not one of them. Well, 12-1, 113 miles an hour for the Rocket Lane to a 15.8 at 93 miles an hour for the Aeroflow lane. Well, BMW up against BMW.
Yeah, two very different models, but the Boomers are out in force tonight.
They are indeed, aren't they?
Somebody sent the memo out.
Yeah, yep.
You know, they said, well, we had all the Hondas were out last week, so we had a bit of Jap flavour. Tonight, we've got more of a Euro flavour.
$13.0106 for the Aeroflow lane to a $13.0109 for the Rocker lane.
All right, we've got the Golf coming out now against the big Chevy. The Chevy winding it up in the burnout. Put your hands together, Sydney. We love our burnouts here at Sydney Dragway. And, of course, Calidi Motorsports, they'll be on the pad a little bit later. But you know what? Drag racers, they love their burnouts as well. And it's better to do it here than on the street.
I'd like to see the Chev on the burnout pad.
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah,
Just tossing it around.
Double. Turn the tyres. 2.68 in the 60 with the rear wheels spinning like crazy.
Yeah, indeed.
And he was off it before the finishing line and goes to 14.73 to a 12.93. All right, we've got an F6 down here in the Rocket Lane. Taking on the P-plate in the VL. Oh, yeah, Sydney, get those limited fingers happening out in the stands. I tell you what, Burnout Fever is here tonight.
They're getting in there early.
Oh, yeah, that's what we're talking about. I think we should commentate from outside, I reckon.
Yeah. Go down in the viewing area.
Yeah, get the limited fingers happening. Scott's already got his limited finger going, watching the live stream. Well, it's the Falcon out with a .821. Reaction time goes to 12.49 with a 9. And a 16.81 there for the VL, as we've got the Mitsubishi Triton coming out now in full four-wheel drive spec. And he's taken on this very quick wagon, which has run 10.5 seconds, thereabouts.
Yeah, roughly around 130 miles an hour.
As Mark mentioned, this car is double-entered.
So which is great. You and your mate can put an entry in each and race the same car. Or if you want to take a passenger in the car, there's certain restrictions you have to apply to, but if you do apply to them, you can have your partner, friend, whoever, sitting next to you.
1081, a little bit slower this time, 123.
Yeah, and the miles an hour, way off.
Yeah, and the Triton with a 1999. All right, got this SDR Motorsports prepared Mazda RX-8. Probably one of the more cleaner RX-8s that you'll see. Of course, there's not many around this year, or around in general. Most of them are using for the RX-8 Cup. Looks like he's going to be taking on the Lexus. Yeah, Scott, it's a great night for racing. As Mark mentioned earlier, conditions out there at the moment are excellent for racing, and it's as evidenced by the times as well as the miles per hour out there as well. G'day to Andy. How you going, mate? A 1281 there in the rocket lane, and the RX-8, the little rotor, a 17.27. As we've got Brian coming out now in the VZ, about to take on Sammy Jo in the VE. Oh, Brian winding it up in the burnout.
Not holding back there at all.
Put your hands together, guys. I can just see Ross, one of our #1 spectators down the viewing area, and he's getting a lungful of tyre smoke down there. He'd be loving it. He's not complaining at all. We cannot see the start line. I can just see tail lights from up here in the studio.
All we can see is the lights on top of the tree. That's it.
I got about 25 minutes left of the reaction time prize contest. So to all our racers, guys, 12.54 there for Sammy Jo. That is huge. So, guys, as I said, about 25 minutes left roughly of the reaction time prize comp. So, hey, guys, if you want that $300 for the fastest reaction time,
yep,
you got to be on it.
Yeah.
All right, got the Statesman back out in the rocket lane. Surprisingly quicker than what Mark and I first thought. And I'll tell you what, 1.68 to 60 is consistent in that 60 mark.
Yep. It's not a great pass.
Wow, 10.98 with 3 at 126. That is huge.
It is indeed. 14.4 and 99 miles an hour for the Aeroflow lane. That's pretty good miles an hour for a 14-second pass.
Yeah, it is. I got one of the Calidi Motorsports cars out now. The VF Commodore Ballor is down in the Aeroflow lane. He's taking on another VF Commodore.
First time out tonight
Yeah.
in that car.
All right, well, the Calidi Motorsports VF out with a 2.42 in the 60. The VF next to him, 1.99 reaction time in the tree, so whether he's just winding up a bit of boost, but he goes to 13.43 to a 13.42. David Martisevic coming out now in the Cortina. Looks like the International down here may have had a little bit of fluid dropping out of it.
Yeah, they when he was driving up, they think there was something down on the ground. Yep, he's right.
Good stuff.
So it might have been previous.
Yep,
But that's our crew, which is so switched on.
they are.
They're all over it.
So just to everybody that's here at the track, guys, you heard me talk about the raffle tickets that you can buy to have a ride as a passenger at Good Friday. Now, the cars that are in the raffle, #1 is Chubba. We got 0Fs, Mad Dog, Too Easy, Get Wrecked, and Big Red. They are the cars that you can buy tickets in the raffle.
They're pretty serious cars.
They are. And look, you know, to be brutally honest, if I was in the raffle, I wouldn't care what car I was riding in as long as I'm actually passenger in a car.
Yep.
and on the burnout pad. Now we've got Robert Spagnol, who'll be out on the pad a little bit later. He's one of the pro burnout cars. Hell's mate, he's got the big supercharger in the front of the panel van. And this Calidi Motorsports VR VS Commodore down here in the Aeroflow lane. Of course, Shorty's Performance do all the engine work on Hell's mate. The LS, blown LS, it goes in 11:48 to a 12:79. That's a good pass there.
12.79 is really good for that VS.
That is. All right, we've got the big F truck back out with the turbo barrel in it. Of course, Good Friday coming up on the 29th of March. One of our major burnout events here at Sydney Dragway. Cannot wait. I am like super pumped. I am super pumped.
So I dare say you've got that in your phone with highlights all around it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I've already put my time in at work to have the day off so I can come out and co-call the burnouts. Oh, the big F truck, look at this pass.
Yeah.
10.13, 141.42. Thank you very much.
You could knock 0.5 off that. If at 140 miles an hour or 41 miles an hour, that should be a 950 pass.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, talking about quick cars, we've got the Lamb Speed GR Yaris coming out now.
Let's see how it goes now. They resolved the issue they had because that was way, way off pace.
Yeah, this is a genuine 10-second car, although it is used for circuit work as well, not just drag racing. Well, 1.79 in the 60. This is probably on for maybe an 11. Oh no, he goes 10.38 with a 9.
Yeah, same miles an hour too.
Yeah, wow.
141 is the big F truck. So I really like to see them lined up again.
Jeez, I thought that would have been maybe a low 11, but
Yeah.
it's picked up the speed with that sequential transmission. I got the wagon back out against the first of our hot rods. Yeah, it sure does go, that thing, Cliff. I've seen it over at the motorsport park, actually, Cliff, on the circuit. And believe me, it is be a fun little car to punt around as well.
Yeah, it would be a nimble little thing.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with that type of horsepower behind it, you would just point and shoot. That thing would just jump out of the corners.
Well, it's all right. The big wagon goes 1.93 in the 60 and goes an 11.06 with 3. So the miles per hour just down a little bit. They were running mid-10s in that car earlier on this evening. All right, we've got the 65 Mustang down here in the Aeroflow lane, taking on the convertible hot rod. Actually, Cliff, that GR Yaris is actually a 3-cylinder in that car. But with all the aftermarket parts that are available now for the GR Yaris, I mean, there are a lot of 10-second GR Yarises around the world now.
I'll tell you what, that's a good shot at a reaction time in it. It's on the minus, but in the right direction.
Well, it certainly is. And I'll tell you what, guys, we've got about 16 minutes left of the reaction time prize comp.
Yep.
So we just scraped in.
So if you're going to do it, now's the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, you know what? I'd love to give it to one of these hot rod drivers.
Yeah.
You know, of course, we had Day of the Drags on Sunday, and a lot of these guys have backed up. Ah, Paco's just come up with the envelopes. The money is in my hand. Cannot wait.
Yeah.
Now, speaking about that, oh, I've got them here right in front of me. Good stuff. I need those for the reaction time prize contest. But 15 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. The clock is ticking. So if you want to get out and race, guys, try and win $300.
13.0, 102 miles an hour for the Aeroflow lane, and 13.4, 99 miles an hour for the Rocket lane. Well, 108 miles an hour. Well, Joe's out in the Commodore, goes out a 0.97. Sounds like he's half got out of that one. 11.5, 117 miles an hour. Oh, that was really, really close to the centre line, wasn't it, Stu?
Yeah, I thought he was going to take out the half-track timing blocks then.
Yep.
It was that close. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as these hot rods start to make their way up the return road, please give them a round of applause. Show your love for them as well. It's great to have them here tonight as part of Aeroflow Race for Real. I want to see them back again.
Yeah, me too.
Like, seriously. You guys are putting on a fantastic show here this evening, as are all our races. And the motorbikes tonight, tell you what, they are doing a great job out there at the moment.
Yep. Well, 10.4 to a 12.6 for that pass.
Corey's saying it's bike night tonight. Unfortunately, it's not, Corey, but I'll tell you what, the motorcycles have been doing a great job all night. Some of them have just been exciting to watch from some of the riders. Some of them have been putting down some amazing times.
Yep. Well, 9.9, 146 miles an hour for the Rocket lane. To a 14.8 at 88 miles an hour. (10.9), 129 miles an hour for the Aeroflow lane to a 13.3, 95 miles an hour for the Rocket lane.
I got the P-plater out now in the Rocket lane. We're on 063 on the tree there for the P-plater on board his bike or her bike.
Not a bad reaction, but I don't think good enough to be in the money.
Well, I'll tell you what, no, it's not, but he might win the race. Yes, he does. 15.57.
Well done.
To a 14.9. Ooh. A few of these bike riders getting a little bit squirrely off the line. They've just got to be a little bit careful. The last thing you want to do is see anybody come off. Well, both these bikes in the 2.0s in the 60. The bike in the Aeroflow lane is way out in front. It runs a 12.49 with a 7 to a 13.51. Big hello to UFO Sorcery Engineering. How you going? How you going, mate?
Well, bike in the rocket lane, just streaking ahead. 11.9, 117 miles an hour to a 13.1 for the Aeroflow lane. Well, these guys have just about done their dash on the reaction time.
Yeah, just about. There's less than 10 minutes to go.
So you're going to cut a good one.
Was,
You got to jump in now.
there's about roughly 8 minutes to go.
Yep,
So, I mean, a lot can happen in 8 minutes,
true.
but I'll tell you what, you've got to be on your game, guys. Just remember, too, the way the reaction time competition works, too, is that if you've won money in the last 4 weeks, you are not eligible.
Yep.
And you also have to have a street registered car.
$10.9 to an 11.6.
Just makes it fair for everyone and gives people a chance who've never raced before to have an equal opportunity as well at the reaction time. Wally Hoster coming out now in the Aeroflow lane on board the BC Performance supported 1000cc Jaxa.
Whoa. Bike in the Aeroflow lane, just smoking the tyre off the line.
Yeah, that was Wally Hoster.
Was it?
Yeah, 1.88. Gave it a bit of juice and goes to 12.16 with an 8. Way off where that bike has been running all night. One man's been running consistent 990s all night is Michael Riches on board his modified Suzuki GSX-R 750. He's got the extended swing arm on it. And he's in beside him is Jesse Barnes on board his street bike designated Jaxa 1300. Michael just winding up the revs on board the Jaxa 750. Oh, 1.74 to 1.87. Not too much between the reaction time. Michael goes 9.99 with a 9. Jesse Barnes 10.32 at 140 miles per hour. Oh, got this vintage bike. Sorry, I shouldn't say vintage, nostalgic bike.
One of them old ones.
Speaking about nostalgic bikes, actually, I was up the pie shop at Cowan
Yep.
the other day, Pie in the Sky, and there was a guy that rode through an old BSA.
Oh, really? Yeah, okay.
Jeez, it looked mint. Absolutely mint. It looked like it'd come straight off the showroom floor. It was so clean, Mark.
Yeah.
Well, 12.43, 106 for the KZ. As the EB Falcon comes out now against the Honda in the rocket lane. Well, the Honda has got the better 60 foot, 2.39, and it just stretches its legs over the EB Falcon. And a 1473 to a 1783 there for the Falcon. As we've got the 86 about to come out against this BMW SUV. Still a fair bit of steam coming out of this 86.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the big BMW SUV marks 1.85 in the 60, effortless.
Yeah, it wasn't hanging around. He's just absolutely given it to it. 12.2, 111 miles an hour to a 15.1 at 92 miles an hour. It's not a bad pass at all for a big vehicle.
I'd be interested to know what that 86 has got done to it. Next time he's out, I'll have to have a chat to the driver because 15.1 is certainly no slouch for a little four-cylinder like that. All right, we've got the Supra out on track now against the little Nissan Pulsar.
Oh, Pulsar just frying the tyre.
DJ Prowse asks, what's my favourite burnout car? Well, my favourite burnout car is Blown Lux, Brett Battersby's white Hilux.
Yep.
With the big block blown methanol motor hanging out of it. I love that car.
It's virtually a motor and chassis rails, isn't it?
Pretty much. And, you know, it's it'd be a bit of a handful on the tip-in, but I'll tell you what, it sounds the goods.
Yes.
I have no issue standing right near the burnout pad, and I'm happy for my eardrums to start vibrating like a metal snare drum. Yeah, I love the sound out of it. It's loud, it's brash.
It's all the stuff that burnout car needs to be.
Oh yeah, it makes all the right noises. Having said that though, you know, there are some naturally aspirated cars that I do like as well.
Yep.
One of them is out the back, obviously Chubba. You know, from the modified and the street ranks, you know, it's another car that's had a fair bit of work done to it. It's not blown, but I'll tell you what, it can mash a set of tyres. And believe me, some of the cars that we're going to be seeing out on the burnout pad tonight, they are going to be insane.
Mate, my respect goes to one that has been out here a fair few times. It must have been bought by two people. It was a cross-ended. It was a silver VZ Commodore V8.
Yep.
And the first guy'd go out and just absolutely punish this thing. They'd roll it out, put another set of tyres on it, and then give it to it again. And they done that week after week after week.
I think that might be Mr. Grumpy.
Yeah, and that thing just kept going. It just held together. It's just unbelievable the amount of punishment it took. They're ripping bars off it, they were ripping side skirts off it, and belting it into walls.
But I think too, the other thing which we do speak a lot about, particularly in burnouts, we talk about engine builders.
Yep.
And you know, for even some of the engine builders for our off-street drag racing, I mean, we're very lucky here in Sydney that there are a lot of good engine builders.
Yes, they are.
And depending on what style of car you want to build, there's something for everyone here in Sydney. You know, we've got Matooks with the RB30s, you've got Pack Performance, Steve DeMish Racing, just to name a few, with the rotaries. You know, we've got Gas Racing with the 2Js, you know, which are only based over at Wetherill Park.
Yep.
You know, there's a lot of guys that are building some good motors that, you know, Ben's right, that are holding together.
Yep.
They're taking a lot of punishment, and it's a credit to all these engine builders, and also the tuners as well, like Gingerbread Man with his tuning as well. You know, you can have anyone build you a good motor, but if you can't tune it properly.
And it is built for a specific use.
That's right, exactly.
So if you're drag racing, they build it for drag racing. If you build it for burnouts, you build it for burnouts because it's got to last a longer period than, you know, like a 9-second pass.
That's right.
You know, and the heat off a burnout car is just huge.
Oh, they are. They are.
So, yeah.
I mean, I had a ride in Mark Johnson's old pink Hyundai XL long time ago that used to be a pro burnout car. And that thing was just naturally aspirated. But even just sitting in the passenger seat and feel the heat in my feet coming up through the floor.
Yeah.
You're 100% right, Mark. You just don't realise how much heat is generating.
Oh, yeah. Well, you see them out there. The pipes are glowing bright red within seconds.
Yeah.
You know, like they're full noise and under load.
And a lot of them too, you know, they're building them to around the 800 horsepower at the minimum. And even, you don't need 1,000 horsepower for a burnout. You can have an 800 horsepower car or 750 horsepower car, depending on what you're driving. And you're still getting the correct amount of smoke. But, you know, that's only half the battle.
Yep. Yeah. Well, a lot of those guys too, you know, with the burnout cars, you know, I would say that they probably look at a lot of torque.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, what the torque figures are. And don't worry too much about horsepower because the torque is what you need to keep that turning, pumping that out. So
absolutely. Well, guys, what we might do, we might get a few words from our sponsors. We'll be back very, very soon here at Aeroflow Race for Real.
Are you a motoring enthusiast? Shannons are giving you the chance to win a USA Supercars drive experience at the Circuit of the Americas and Las Vegas racetracks. Drive a Ferrari, Lamborghini and Porsche. Visit Dallas, Austin, Las Vegas and LA. The trip for two includes airfares, luxury accommodation and $10,000 spending money for eligible Shannons Club members. Plus, win a new Indian Motorcycle Sport Chief. To enter, take out new Shannons insurance on your special car, daily drive, bike or home. Go on.
Not slow.
Not difficult.
Not just ticking boxes.
Not a bank.
Talk to Australia's real-life non-bank for home loans, car loans, personal loans. Pepper Money, the home of loan options.
Aeroflow Performance provides a wide range of high-quality performance products for racers, street machines and hot rodders.
Well, welcome back to Aeroflow Race Real here at Sydney Dragway. My name's Stuart White and up here in commentary with Mark Thomas. It's been a fantastic night, and just to let people know that we do have the reaction time money on the table. Now, the other thing too, guys, we're going pro tree.
Yep.
So to the racers that are out the back, particularly those that don't race here all the time, what we normally do is we run the sportsman tree up until around 8:45, 9 o'clock. Then we switch it to a pro tree. And if you've never raced pro tree before, it's a whole different kettle of fish, but I reckon it's so much more fun.
Yep. So you no longer have a tree counting down.
No.
It's just flash and green. So it's going to get you going.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I'm going to duck next door and get the winners of tonight's reaction time winners. I'll leave you in the capable hands of Mark Thomas to call all the action. I'll be back very, very soon.
Well, Big Huey is back on song, 10.6, 131 miles an hour. And the Triton, 20.7 at 62 miles an hour. So it'd be interesting to see if they found a bit of a problem with the Huey, why it was so much off song, or they just backed it down a tad. Okay, the Mazda up against the VZ. Well, Commodore goes through 12.6, 115 miles an hour to a 17.2, 83 miles an hour. Car in the rocket lane, doing all the stuff you shouldn't do, and nearly found out why. Very, very close to spearing off towards the fence then. Backed out just in the nick of time. 12.8, 106 miles an hour for the Aeroflow. Well, nice strong burnout from the Commodore. Just having a few problems with that ute, trying to get it off the line. 10.9, 127 miles an hour to 12.6, 135 miles an hour. So that miles an hour tells you the potential of that car. Once they get that car set up and getting power down to the ground, that car will do some really good times. .14.3 at 99 miles an hour for the Aeroflow lane to a 16.6, 84 miles an hour. VZ Commodore up against the VF. .13.4, 104 miles an hour to a 12.8. Well, nice big strong burnout from the VS Commodore. Plenty of heat in those tyres. .12.7 to a 14.3. Well, the F100 in the Aeroflow lane up against this HSV Commodore. .97, 143 miles an hour to a 14.4 at 87 miles an hour. Back into the couple of hot rods. .13.3 to a 16.4. Mustangs trying to fight back. Won't get there. 12.8 to a 13.4. Jessavello down in his favourite lane, the Aeroflow. Just waiting for those cars to clear the escape road up the top. Eleven 4 120 miles an hour. Move back into the bikes again. Nine 8 148 miles an hour to a 10.3, 142 miles an hour. Eleven 8 to 12.5. Ten 1 144 miles an hour to an 11 2 127 miles an hour. Rocket Lane on a good pass. 10-4, 145 miles an hour to a 13-3, 96 miles an hour.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've got the winners of tonight's Reaction Time prize contest. So to all the racers that are out the back, if I could have your attention, please. And if you could meet me at the bottom of the tower, please. If I call your name, I am looking for racer number 5815, Kieran Cook. Racer number 5811, Sammy Joe. And racer number T18, Troy Fewings. So once again, if you're out the back and you've been racing tonight, please listen out for your name right now, please. So I'm looking for Sammy Joe, racer number 5811. Kieran Cook, 5815. And race number T18, Troy Fewings. If you guys could meet me at the bottom of the tower, please, for the reaction time prize contest.
We got the VW Golf just coming through, and the Nissan Z car. Both guys just went round, snubbed their nose at the water, straight to the starting line. The Z car's got out and gone. Pro Tree slowed down the V-dub a bit. $13.9, 103 miles now for the Aeroflow lane to a 12.0, 113 miles an hour. Well, BMW slowly rolling up to the line, and the Falcon in behind him. Or beside him, I should say. Well, a Turbo Falcon on a good pass, 12.5, 120 miles an hour. And 19.6, 57 miles an hour. Bit of a, not a good pass for that car. $13.0 at 99 miles an hour for the Aeroflow lane, and a 13.2 at 109 miles an hour.
Oh yeah, come on, Brian! Woohoo! Smoke it up!
Definitely showing no mercy there.
I'd like to say a big thank you to James and Casey from our Calidi, who are our photographers tonight. Cannot wait to get down there and party with them on the burnout pad. All the cars are lined up out the back. Brian is just like totally smoked out. We cannot see the end of the quarter mile. That's how much smoke there is.
Well, Stu, correct me if I'm wrong. Do we have 9 burnout cars?
We got 9 burnout cars.
9. Absolutely unbelievable.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I would suggest, and I make this very, very quick, if you haven't got a raffle ticket, make sure you go and see Dom. Get your raffle ticket, because you never know, you could get a passenger ride in one of those burnout cars from Calidi Motorsports. And I'll tell you what, there are some big hitters down there. I'm getting pumped. The rocket is firing up. I've just seen David Pendlebury. He's ready to go in no PSI.
Well,
Mark, you got to get a microphone. You got to come down with me, mate. You got to co-commentate the burnouts with me. You do not want to miss this.
All right, I'll come from one to now.
Yes, yes! Ladies, if you've heard it first, ladies and gentlemen, all around the world and here at Sydney Dragway, Mark Thomas and the Rocket next to the burnout pad calling the burnouts. Now, I'm going to turn you into a burnout fan, mate. I'm telling you. I've always wanted to call burnouts with you. Always wanted to call burnouts with you.
Well, I'll tell you what, mate, by the looks of all these cars out there, it's going to be huge.
Oh, it will be huge. Huge thank you to Calidi Motorsports, the whole team. Royce Forrester is down there as well with 0 Fs. The VK Commodore. Great bunch of guys, because last week you had GMR Skidders that put on a fantastic show last week, but this week Calidi Motorsports, they had prime position. Great to see all the cars on display as well, so people could go down to the pits, have a look at the cars. The kids could get a photo with the car if they want, which is fantastic. All right, the Lamb Speed. GR Yaris about to take on the Nissan Pulsar.
Well, I'll tell you what, great effort from the Pulsar and the Burnout.
Well, why not? I mean, hey, we're in we've got a bit of a burnout feel tonight. I'm pumped.
Tell you what, this Yaris is on a good path again.
He is. Look at this, 10:51. Sydney Dragway, put your hands together for the Lamb Speed team. That is sensational.
Well, 15-1 for that little Pulsar as well. That's a great
quick.
time for a little car like
That is very quick.
Well, talking of quick cars, we have the QE down here. This thing has been pumping out 130 miles an hour, pass after pass. 10.5 seconds. He's up against the VF Commodore.
Hey, we got Casey and James on the burnout pad. How are those limited fingers down there? Are they ready to go? I'll tell you what, mate. I'm warming up here. I'm getting into burnout commentating mode. All right, 11:42 at 1:29.
Way off on the 60 foot.
It's really weird because that car was running 10.5 seconds. I don't know whether it's what's going on there.
Previous pass. He run a 10.5 second again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not sure. I thought he might have wound it down a little bit to be a bit easy on it. But, yeah, that previous pass, it just, everything worked. All the incrementals were right. But this pass is off again. So, whether it might have a bit of an electrical problem there.
Could do. Because we do talk about consistency in drag racing, and you know, it's all very well having a 10.5 second car, but you want to try and back it up each and every pass.
100%, yep.
You know?
Well, back into the bikes again, turning these cars around really, really quick. But to everyone in the stand, make sure you grab yourself an absolute spot-on spot to be sitting.
Well, VL's gone across 21.3 at 65 miles an hour. Just absolutely turned tyres the whole length of the... But now we are moving into what everybody's been looking forward to.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just before we start the burnouts, everybody that is at the front of the grandstand, we need you guys to move back, please, to where the blue seats start. So everybody that's in front of where the blue seats start, you need to move back, please, guys. We will not start the burnouts until you move back. Guys, we will not start the burnouts until you all move back.
I'm going to go up and see if Ben can get that mic working.
No, I'll do it later. It's okay.
Sure?
Yeah. So once again, if you are sitting in front of where the blue seats start in the grandstand, you need to move back, please, to where the blue seats start. It is our safety protocol here at Sydney Dragway. So I get the serious stuff out the way first. While the burnout's going on, guys, please do not come down to the front of the grandstand. If you do, we will stop the burnout, okay? It is a safety thing that we have here at Sydney Dragway, so you guys need to stay back where the blue seats start, please. Thank you, everybody, for your cooperation. All right, Mark. We're about to kick it off. Sydney Dragway, how are you tonight, guys? This is one of the bigger crowds that we've had here on a Wednesday night, and that is a huge thank you to the Calidi Motorsport group. Now, I usually just save this for the bigger events. You guys got your voices tonight? There's some people up here that have got their voices. Sydney Dragway, you ready for skids? I'll tell you what, I'm pretty pumped. And it must be a good turnout because I've got Mark Thomas down here to co-call the burnouts with me tonight. And it looks like, Mark, our first car is going to be Hate This.
Mate, it's going to be a good one to kick it straight off in it. If I'm wrong, we got a supercharger hanging out of the bonnet.
Oh, it may not be then. It might be Big Red. Let's go down.
Yeah, we'll go from one to down and just confirm.
Big Red. Sorry, mate. So I think that might be Big Red. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty pumped tonight because one of the commentators that I'm very, very lucky to commentate with, David Pendlebury, is here tonight with no PSI. First time I've seen him back on the burnout pad. He's pretty pumped. He's ready to go. We got Chubba here as well. Get wrecked. So I'll tell you what, if you're watching via YouTube or Facebook Live, do not move from your screen because I'll tell you, it's going to go off. Now we do have Big Red coming out first. One of our pro burnout cars, got the big supercharger. You like a blown Commodore?
Mate, absolutely love a blown Commodore. And just looking at these cars, Stu, how well prepared they are. Like, as I said earlier, they're virtually like a show car, the amount of preparation and everything that's gone into these cars.
Absolutely they are. David Pendlebury, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, can I get an oh yeah for David Pendlebury? Dave, back here at Sydney Dragway, mate, and you're driving.
Mate, it's been 7 years since I've been here, 7 years since I turned a tyre on this pad. I've been commentating, I've been watching from the sideline. This is the first time I come down here with the Calidi boys to party. They go to every show and they party hard, so I thought let's join them and go for a party, see what happens.
Mate, we saw last week with GMR Skidders, they put on some killer skids last week, but I'll tell you what, the Calidi boys, they've come out in force tonight.
They have, made 9 cars, but the GMR skidders, they always skid hard and big. And they love a tip in. They love burying it in the corners. So we'll see what the boys, if the Calidi boys can back it up.
Well, mate, Good Friday Burnouts coming up as well in the not too distant future. Good warm-up for these boys as well.
100%. Every time you get to practice on the pad is always good. So a bit of practice right before. I'll be down there peppering your ears on Good Friday. Are you coming? Yeah. Well, that's it, mate. Let's go.
Absolutely. Now, the Mad Dog is here with his brand new car. Oh, you got dramas already. What's happening, mate? What's going on?
Fuel pump keeps burning out, so we're going to make it work and send it first.
That's what we like to hear. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to try and get the Mad Dog fired up. We got David Pendlebury with no PSI sitting behind the Mad Dog. All right, Sydney Dragway, let's get those limited figures up in the air. It is time for the Mad Dog. Oh, we got a bit of a barbecue underneath the Mad Dog. How's that for the first skid, Sydney?
Well, Stu, you got to admire these guys' dedication. That's a new car, and they had trouble with it torching out fuel pumps. So they've got it all sorted, rolled it to the front of the line so they could just get out, and just going past us, shift light, well ablaze, full noise right out into the middle of the burnout pad, and no backing off. It just full on all the way through. So, mate, credit to these guys.
Can I get a Mad Dog chant? Mad Dog, Mad Dog. There goes the rear bar. all yours, my friend.
All right, guys. HZ Supercharged Commodore.
Oh, Big Red has come to a stop. Our fantastic fire team straight on it as well. Well done to the driver of Big Red. Hey guys, just in the grandstand, just make sure you guys are back where the blue seats start, please. So to the people that are at the front of the grandstand, you need to move back to where the blue seats are, please. Those young people at the front of the grandstand, guys, can I get you to move back a little bit, please?
Stop until they Hey guys, everyone in the stands out there, have a look around you where you are sitting. If you're not behind the blue rower seats, there'll be no more burnouts until you are.
It's just safe. If something does happen, I'm not saying it will. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in the grandstand, guys, can you please sit down or not stand on the seats, please? So if you're up in the grandstand, guys, please either sit down or don't stand on the seats, please. All right, guys, David Pendlebury, first time in a long time. He's gearing up to bring out no PSI. Fresh LS in the front of the Hilux. I reckon you still got it, Mark.
Mate, it sounds like a nice, healthy motor, don't it? Like, it's got a fairly decent cam, and I reckon it's got all the good internals to go with it. So once this thing hit full noise, we'll see what it does.
We've just got to quickly clean up the pad. Just got a little bit of rice hull down there. Go. Whoa. What is that coming off the car? That's... Well, I tell you what, just over here, Mark, it's just at the wall. You might be able to explain roughly what that is. It's just come off the car.
Yeah, Stuart's a harmonic balancer. Just parted company from the car.
Well, Sydney Dragway, put your hands together for David Pendlebury. He got out there and gave it a go. Right here. Well, that's not something you see all the time, a harmonic balancer coming off a car.
No, it's not Stu, and it's usually what it takes out with it on its way out, because that thing is just spinning at 1 trillion miles an hour. It usually takes out all the cooling systems and anything else that gets in the way. So hopefully it didn't do too much damage. For as Dave was saying, this first time in 7 years that this car's been out, and done really well for his first hit out. So hopefully not too much damage under there, and he will get that sorted all out, and we'll see him out here on the pad again. Yeah, I dare say the bolt has parted company, and it could be anywhere, because they're, this size of like the face of a watch. They're not real big.
Well, that is a little bit unfortunate there for David Pendlebury, but at least it's not something super major and he can get the car repaired. Sydney Dragway, put your hands together for the one and only David Pendlebury. I cannot wait to party with Dave at Good Friday Burnouts. Hey, Dave, at least the tip-in was on fire. Tip-in looked really good from back here. Well, it just goes to show, Mark, how much, we were talking earlier on commentary, just how much stress those motors are under. Just goes to show, doesn't it? Well, next up, we've got the Commodore Ute called Get Wrecked, about to come out next. Sydney Dragway, put your hands together for Get Wrecked. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's show Mark Thomas how us burnout people do it. Can I get a chopper chant? Chopper, chopper, chopper.
All right, guys, we do have the crew around there. Just look like they've just given a quick clean up underneath. A little bit of a fire under there. Our crews are just A1. They're all over it, making sure there's nothing else. Let's see if he's going to go further.
We've got Hate This coming up next.
All right, guys, put your hands together, Chopper. That's a great deal.
Hate This coming up now.
All right, now we do have the another Commodore. Bit of a trend here for the Commodores, but Hate This coming on out.
Oh. Well, that's not generally like Hate This. Hello, hello, hello. Got a chopper with a spotlight. Hey, I'm not sure that he bought a ticket, but nevertheless. Hey, everybody, there's a helicopter coming over. Give him a wave. This is how we party at Sydney Dragway. Yeah. Well, that's very unfortunate there for Hate This. Judging by the boot being open, Mark, I've got a sneaking suspicion it might be fuel pump.
Yeah, it does look that way, Stu. They're just down around the fuel cell in there, just checking. And the way it's shut down too is just, it does sound like fuel.
Looks like they're trying to start it.
You can hear it winding over, just not firing. All right, guys, huge effort.
Well, that's a little bit unfortunate there for Hate This, but no doubt they'll get that car looked at and get it fixed. And hopefully we'll see Hate This out here for Good Friday Burnouts here at Sydney Dragway on the 29th. All right, Mark. Reese Forrester coming out now in 0Fs. I love this car. Are you ready, Reese? Are you pumped? Sydney Dragway, are you ready for 0Fs? I know this car does a good skid.
All right, guys, throw your hands together for 0Fs. Huge effort out there. And we have Too Easy just sitting down here waiting to be released.
All right, Sydney, let's go crazy for Too Easy. Sydney Dragway, make some noise for Too Easy. All right, Mark, this has definitely been one of your favourite cars of the night. Hell's Mate, the shortest performance, Holden.
Mate, this HD wagon.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Calidi Motorsport crew. Hell's Mate, what a night of burnouts and Aeroflow race for real. Big thank you to Dom from Calidi Clothing Company with the raffle tickets. Be very lucky if you get your name pulled out and you get the right shotgun in the burnout car. What do you reckon, Mark?
Mate, I reckon it'll be a bit of a life-changing experience, that's for sure. But yeah, definitely thank you to everyone, the officials, all the burnout guys for bringing out here. Aeroflow, everyone going home, go easy. The boys in blue are always out there and they're always watching. So we would like to see you out here again next week.
Absolutely. Huge big thank you to everybody who's been watching via Facebook and YouTube. We do apologise about the internet being down, but Ben worked his heart out to get that up and running. Big, huge thank you to Benji, our production manager. We'll see you next week for Aeroflow Race for Real.